24 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Good morning to you, Grenada, Carrier, Coupé, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, the rest of the world. It's a good day to have a good day, despite the odds against you. Yeah.
Let me live by example.
It's Wednesday, the 19th day of June. Historic day in Grenada. Yeah.
Thank you for
Do you remember what happened on the 19th of June?
merciful Father, all your precious gifts to me. Oh, Father.
It's Good Morning Grenada with yours truly, the innocent one. So happy to be with you once again. Really didn't think I could make it this morning, but here I am.
Oh, Masha.
Yeah, God is good.
Oh, Masha.
Morning to all the wonderful peeps out there. All right, we're experiencing some slight problems with our Facebook page at the moment. I hope we have it resolved momentarily. Yes, it is resolved, and that's good. All right, and saying good morning to you, Lynn, Mary E. Banks. Good morning also. Yolan Swan, I haven't heard you for the week. I'm wondering if all is well, but here you are this morning. So happy to have you here with us this morning. Yulin, how you doing? She says, good morning, Gordon. Good morning to everyone. Blessings to all for a wonderful Wednesday. Have a great, safe day, everyone. Thank you, Yulin. You do likewise. Hope you're doing fine. Yep. And you're enjoying home. Nice. Yeah, good morning, innocent. Oh, Father, bomb blast. So said Mildred Smith. Yeah, that's a big tune, man. Catherine Phillips says, good morning, Grenada. Good morning, innocent. Wendy Williams. Good morning, Mr. Joseph. Good morning, Wendy. Jellyanne, good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning, Mildred Smith. Good morning. To all the wonderful folks out there. Hope you're doing fine. I want to say good morning also to Mr. Shem Theodore. All right. Good morning, Shem. Hope you're doing fine. Yep. Good, nice. It's 22 minutes on to 7 o'clock, and like I said, sometimes life gets so overwhelming, but it's always, today is a good day to have a good day. And I want to say good morning to some wonderful folks, man. Miss Julia Dove, Miss Hall, Miss Julia Dove Hall, Miss Robertina Cheryl, Mary Theresa. Good morning to all these wonderful folks all the way out there in Mount Nesbitt in St. John. I hope I got the names right. Julia Dove Hall, Miss Robertina Cheryl, Mary Theresa. Ooh, a lot of names. I do hope I have them right. Nice. Good. Hope you all are doing fine, man. You all are wonderful people. And yeah. Good. Thank you, Gordon. I am enjoying my vacation in my spicy country. Yeah. Tell Smoko good morning for me when you see him, alright? Good morning, Chief, out there in Pomerose. How you doing? Good morning to all the wonderful folks in Pomerose and surrounding areas. Mount Agnes, Apretute, Bellevue, Thebaid, Baylile. Good morning to the Maxwins in Baylile. Teacher Mary, the critical eye. Good morning to you. Nice. Good morning. Shiny, good morning. Folks, it's 20 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Good morning, Uncle. You always inspire me. Keep pushing, Uncle. Blessings, man. Next time you pass by Hills and Valley Pharmacy, I need your autograph. Come on, guy. What's wrong with you? You want my autograph? What happened to you, boy? Fine, because Michael Jackson not. Nonetheless, good morning to all the wonderful folks at Hills and Valley Pharmacy, all the branches, even Carrier. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. What's his name again? Mac Mio, yeah. Yeah, morning. All right, the word of the day today is Jubilee, Jubilee. It is a noun, Jubilee, and Jubilee usually refers to a special anniversary or celebration of such an anniversary. It can also refer generally to a season of celebration or act of rejoicing, or to a religious song of African Americans referring to a time of future happiness. Jubilee means all that. Jubilee, Jubilee. Yeah? Nice. Here's how we can use the word in a sentence. My grandparents will be celebrating their golden jubilee this year. As Grandpa puts it, 50 years of wedded bliss and occasional blisters. I like the last part. Yeah, 50 years of wedded bliss and occasional blisters. I wonder what the blisters were about. The town is planning a year-long jubilee in celebration of its founding 200 years ago. That's another way we can use the sentence. Or we can use the word in a sentence, rather. Good morning to Pastor Laurie Dominic and the First Family of the Wester Hall New Testament Church of God, the extended family. That's the congregation. Good morning to each and every one of you. Yeah, hope you all are having a wonderful day. Mr. John T. DeGans and Mom, good morning. How's the little boy? I haven't seen him in ages, but nonetheless, good morning to the folks inside of Stone Road. Johanna, good morning to you. All the wonderful folks. Marvin, Dominic, and family, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to say good morning to a good friend of mine I met on the, in Guave yesterday. That's Guave. Pipe, good morning, Pipe, out there from Canblair. Good morning. Not guilty as charged. Hope you're having a wonderful day, man, and keep working hard. At the end of it all, it pays off, man. Yeah, good morning to you and your big son. I understand he's a big man now. Good morning to all the wonderful folks inside of Canblair and surrounding areas, St. Cloud, and good morning, good morning. I had to touch base with my pips. It's Nadisha's time, though. Good morning, Kitty Cat and Ariel and Alwyn and all the folks in Bacolet and surrounding areas. And Nadisha, the thought of the day today is never allow a person to tell you no who doesn't have the power to say yes. We have a lot of naysayers, you understand? They're afraid that if you make that decision, if you take that step, you'll surpass them. So they keep telling you, no, don't do that. You see people and succeeding at that. Don't do that. Don't start writing that book. Don't start cutlassing that piece of land to put down some melon because people stealing melons. Partners, do not allow someone to tell you no who doesn't have the power to tell you yes. They never tried it. You understand what I'm saying? Not all advice is good advice. As a matter of fact, I don't give advice. I share ideas. If it were me, that is how I would have done it. I wouldn't tell you, don't do this. No. If it was me, I wouldn't do that. You understand? Yeah. So good morning to all the wonderful folks on the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Pidimatnik as usual. What's buzzing this morning? Let's see what's making the rungs this morning. Right. The Chief Medical Officer, he confirmed the cause of the gastro outbreak in Grenada. We also hear of a 60-year-old Grenadian man unable to pay immediate drug fine. He's jailed in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. All right. In the region, Jamaica judge says cartel's retrial decision to be handed down no later than July 2024. Internationally, Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, he is in North Korea meeting with Kim Jong-un. Yep. And in sports, exciting. Grenada female beach volleyball team qualifies for final stage of the Olympic beach volleyball tournament. I have to really make a deciphering with the pronunciation of this word, beach, B-E-A-C-H. There's a difference between beach and beach. Yeah. So the beach volleyball qualifier. Whenever I pronounce this word, one person comes to mind. Our late CEO, our managing director, Odette Campbell. She said you're pronouncing a lot of female dogs on the program because I was saying beach. May our soul rest in perfect peace. Folks, it's time for us to take the break for the AM edition of News, Sports and the Weather. We've got that coming up. We should be having guests this morning. I do hope that they come through. There wasn't a full confirmation, but I do hope they come through. I want to say good morning to Miss Queen out there in Seamoon in St. Andrew. I know you're not doing too well, but you'll be fine. And the Cadet family, good morning. Leroy Cadet and family, good morning, good morning, good morning. We take the break with the AM edition of News, Sports and the Weather is up next. Those of you who are on the television platform, it's a rebroadcast of last evening's television news. Stick and stay with us.
Thanks for joining us. The Royal Grenada Police Force has confiscated an alarming number of illegal firearms since the start of the year. Beverly Telesford tells us more.
Prime Minister and Minister for National Security Deacon Mitchell disclosed on Monday that police seized over 30 illegal firearms in the first half of 2024. He was speaking during the government's second town hall meeting, marking its second anniversary in office.
The police have confiscated, at 6 months, as much as 35 firearms. That is not those who've given up the firearm voluntarily. I'm talking about those that the police have intercepted, confiscated, and arrested people for. At least 35. That's the first 6 months of the year. That is more firearms than the entire year last year. It is more than the year previously. In fact, in the last 10 years, it is perhaps more than any other time, and that is only the first 6 months of the year.
He noted that this figure excludes weapons surrendered during the ongoing firearms amnesty, which concludes next month.
They've also had a few people who have voluntarily brought in the firearm, and so I want to give those who brought in the firearm a round of applause. Because they are doing the wise thing and they are acting not only in their own interests but in the interests of Grenada. The firearms amnesty remains in effect until the end of July.
The Prime Minister emphasized that once the amended Firearms Act bill is passed on August 1st, no one will be exempt from prosecution.
On the 1st of August, we will pass the Firearms Amendment Bill. We are going to Parliament to debate it next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. The changes to the sentencing for persons caught with unlawful firearms are going to be draconian. The sentences are going to move from fines and 6 months imprisonment to minimum of 5 and 10 years imprisonment, to in some cases 20 and 40 years maximum imprisonment.
The firearms amnesty commenced on the 1st of May 2024 and will end at 12 a.m. on July 31st, 2024. Reporting for GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell addressed concerns about overcrowding at His Majesty's prisons while discussing the imprisonment of individuals caught with illegal firearms following the conclusion of the gun amnesty.
This compound was built centuries ago. It has almost 400 inmates, most of whom are men. In fact, the numbers of women are inconsequential. We need prison reform. And we need a new prison. So you see, colleagues, the prison was built centuries ago. The overcrowding, I've been a lawyer 22 years. At least for 22 years, I've known it's been overcrowded. It is something that we have to address because the prison also poses a national security risk. So if you have overcrowding, if you don't have the right facilities, If you have very dangerous criminals who have no sense of moral compass, who will kill for no reason, then you're dealing with animals, and you have to have them in solitary confinement all the time. Let's be clear, there are people who will kill you for no reason. We have some of them at the prison. But we have little capacity for solitary confinement because of the overcrowding.
Other news, constitutional expert Dr. Francis Alexis Casey has been awarded over $350,000 in a libel case against Dominican-born Cabral Douglas, the son of the late Rosie Douglas, former Prime Minister of Dominica. We get the rest of the details in this report.
The $350,000 judgment in favor of Dr. Francis Alexis KC was handed down on Friday by Supreme Court Master Carlos Cameron Michel. The case centers around allegations that on October 26, 2017, Douglas, an attorney by profession, published or caused to be published defamatory statements about Dr. Alexis and his professional conduct via the internet. The court's ruling awarded Dr. Alexis EC $225,000 in general damages, including $50,000 in aggravated damages. Additionally, exemplary damages amounted to $100,000. The total award of EC $325,000 will accrue interest at the statutory rate of 6% per annum from the date of the order until full payment is made. Furthermore, Douglas is required to pay 60% of prescribed costs on the total award, equating to EC $26,250. Douglas, who represented himself throughout the legal battle, argued that the case stemmed from comments made by Dr. Alexis during his keynote speech at the inauguration of the Caribbean Court of Justice, CCJ, in Dominica in 2015.
My defense has always been that in order for a defamation to occur, you have to start with a false statement. Every statement that I made about Dr. Francis Alexis and Sir Dennis Byron is and objectively to be true. We know it's true because it's written in his own handwriting, in his book. We know it's true because he made the statements at the ceremony in Dominica. And therefore, even though he might be offended and his feelings may be hurt, it doesn't necessarily mean that a false statement has been made about him, because there is no such false statement that is made about him.
Douglas, now based in Australia, expressed dissatisfaction with the court's handling of the case, particularly the decision to bypass the requirement for a trial. He has since filed an appeal against the ruling, challenging the default judgment awarded to Dr. Alexis.
What happened was, after I filed my defense, they filed an application for a default judgment. A default judgment is an application that you would file to the court, asking the court to rule in your favor without a trial under circumstances where no defense has been filed. However, this is not an example of such a scenario because a defense had been filed. So that's the grounds of appeal. He himself, out of his own mouth during the ceremony, told Dominicans on live television that he was indebted to Sir Dennis Byron, who happened to be the president of the CCJ. And in the book, on page 3, this is not what I'm saying, but you can get a copy of the book and read it for yourself. On page 3 of the book, he again says, in writing, that he is, if it wasn't for the much needed funds that he received from Sir Dennis, the printing of the book wouldn't be possible.
The Supreme Court Master's ruling marks a significant legal victory for Dr. Alexis, who is widely respected for his expertise and contributions to constitutional law in the Caribbean. Attempts to get a comment from him on this development today have proven unsuccessful. Reporting for GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.
Before Before the break, the St. George's High Court has imposed a non-custodial sentence on St. George's resident Joseph Hoyt Oliver, who was convicted of trafficking a controlled drug. Oliver, who was found guilty by a jury at the end of his trial several weeks ago, has been fined $250,000 for the offense, to be paid in 1 year and in default 7 years imprisonment. The St. George's resident, who has 2 prior unrelated convictions, was represented in the matter by attorney Ruggles Ferguson, who moved the court to impose a non-custodial sentence, sparing him from immediate imprisonment. Oliver was one of 4 individuals on board a fishing vessel which was intercepted by officers of the Marine Unit of the Royal Grenada Police Force on July 1, 2015, just off the coast of Grenada and near the vicinity of Grand Mall and Happy Hills, St. George. According to the facts of the case, Oliver was seen throwing an object through the hatch of the vessel. Police later discovered a bucket floating in the water near the vessel containing 10 packages of cocaine, each weighing approximately 10 kilograms. The other crew members of the vessel were also arrested, including the captain, but was subsequently released except Oliver, who was charged with the indictable offense. According to the sentencing guidelines, the offense carries a prescribed sentence of life imprisonment. However, the usual starting point should be taken as 30 years imprisonment. In handing down the fine to Oliver, the court ordered that the drugs be forfeited and immediately destroyed. The Royal Grenada Police Force is also required to submit proof to the court by way of declaration of such destruction within 30 days of the date of the judgment. National Water and Sewage Authority NAWASA has announced the removal of water restrictions implemented on May 12 to alleviate drought conditions which severely affected the island. Effective June 18, 2024, the restrictions affecting the usage of water supplied by NAWASA have ceased. In a release, the company said that in consultation with relevant stakeholders, it has been determined that the recent rainfall has adequately replenished the water catchment areas, thereby alleviating the drought-like conditions experienced during the month of May 2024. The restrictions included no irrigation or watering of gardens, lawns, and grounds, no filling of swimming pools and ponds, no washing of roadways, pavements, pads, garages, outrooms, or vehicles using hoses, and no use for any purpose which, in the opinion of the authority, requires a considerable or excessive quantity of water. Breach of the restrictions carried a fine of up to $500 or imprisonment for 1 month. The story, the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council, the Agronomy Division, and Livestock, as well as Extension Divisions, are among stakeholders engaged in discussions on how to improve the country's food security, social protection, and nutrition through the school feeding programs. Here's the report.
A European delegation headed by Dr. Florian Luchisen, team leader for the Partnership for Governance, Security and Human Development at the EU delegation to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean states, is currently on a fact-finding mission in Grenada, looking into areas such as social security, social protection, and nutrition. The visiting team was invited by Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Isaac Bagwan. Luchisen explained the objective behind the mission.
The objective is to foster cooperation between the European Union and the OECS countries, and particularly Grenada, to see what we can do together to improve the diets of our population, to find ways to better protect, especially fisher folks, people who work in agriculture, smallholder farmers, for example, through agriculture insurance schemes, so that they have a little bit better chances and securities to move forward.
Following their findings, he explained what would be the next step.
So the next step is now we have exchanged some ideas, and the next step is now to translate this into concrete activities and actions. So to agree what will be done, for example, to improve school feeding programs, what will be done to bring in more technology in agriculture, for example, hydroponics or aquaponics, to bring in technology from Europe to support the farmers here.
Permanent Secretary Isaac Bagwan indicated that the European Union delegation is working through CARICOM to fund this project, which cost an estimated $55 million over a 4-month period beginning January 2025.
This meeting is more or less like a scoping mission, looking at the whole area of food safety and food security. And as such, the key stakeholders within the Ministry of Agriculture were brought together so that we could look and see what is happening, where the gaps are, and how can we benefit from this particular project. Of course, looking at the institutional arrangements, the issues of procurement, the issues of rules and regulations, the issues of policies and gaps, etc. So,
Bagwan said with the Ministry of Agriculture as the backbone of the economy, this augurs well for the sector. Christina John, GBN News.
The story to report passengers on board a bus traveling to Sartez St. Patrick had to be rushed to the General Hospital after the bus overturned and burst into flames in Mount Moritz, St. George. My colleague Christina John was on the scene and has this report.
What you see behind me are the remnants of what was a tragic accident which involved a passenger bus that was en route to Sartez St. Patrick. Apparently, the bus lost control, flipped, and caught a fire. GBN spoke to the driver of the passenger bus, who explained to us that all efforts proved futile.
The bus wasn't getting brakes from the bus, so I started pumping it to see if if it's a fluid that just run low or whatever happened, to see what happened. But I didn't get no brakes. So what happened was, when I reached to the brink of the hill, I tried pushing the number one to hit the higher compression to get the bus now to accept it enough to slow down enough so I could pull it off the road and stand up. Unfortunately, when I tried that, it didn't accept. It just pick up speed from there. So at that point, I ran out of options, so I started looking for a way to hit something to put the stand up. Apparently, I tried to hit it on the stone there and it flipped. With his speed, it was too much, so he flipped and he capsized and reached to a point to stop. Everybody exited, and when we went down, somebody bought and said, "Yo, the bus on fire." At that point, everybody had already exited the bus and whatnot. I'm not sure if anybody had any items inside the bus when that happened, though, but I was more focused on everybody getting out of the bus. I checked who I saw closer around and asked them if they're okay to see the extent of it, and then I started making calls, because I was the one who called the police to let them know look what happened, and to let them know that they had to get the ambulance and the fire truck and whatnot here. There was a few that was rushed to the hospital. I cannot give the extent of the injury as yet. I'm hoping it's nothing too serious as yet. Well, not as yet, but at all. I'm hoping it's nothing serious. So I'm just patiently waiting to hear what's going on and waiting on the owner to come to meet me so I could go to the hospital as well and get checked to see what's really going on with me. My hand is bleeding, but I was so focused on the passengers, so I wasn't really paying any attention to what really happened to me, because I'm more interested in what happened to the passengers than what happened to me. At the end of the day, I'm alive and my responsibility is the passenger, so that's what I really focused on. And up to this point, I still can tell you if I'm having pain, I can tell you if I'm not having pain. So it's still when I reach in the hospital, maybe when my body go back to the original state, I could say, well, okay, well, that's what I'm feeling. But for now, I'm not really feeling anything. Accident, I could say, on a whole. I end up in minor little bumpers, but this is my
force. I had experiences with brake loss in vehicles already, but private transport, which I ended up putting under control. Unfortunately, this one I wasn't successful in getting under control, and well, this was the end result of it.
The scene of what appeared to be a very tragic accident in Jones Road in Monkmorris, St. George, where thankfully no one lost their life. I am Christina John, reporting for GBN News.
It's time to take a peek into the GBN ISO lens. Stay with us.
Our ISO reporter tonight is 6 years old and wants to show off his parrots. The youngster said he felt like the king of the world when he acquired the birds.
Who's the king of the world now, my guy? Mine! Who's the king of the world? That is me! But no one else. Not Iggy, not Jeremy, not Tremory, not Sarah, not Ellie, not Junior, not anyone!
Parrots are birds found mostly in tropical and subtropical regions. 5 interesting things about parrots: they are smart, they can imitate sounds, not all parrots can fly, they can eat with their feet, and parrots live long. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for Grenada to laugh again. Heritage Theatre presents Spice Laugh Comedy Bash 2024, Saturday, June 22nd and Sunday, 23rd June at the Trade Center in Grandance, and on Sunday, 30th June at the Deluxe Cinema in Grenville. Showtime, 7 p.m. every time, featuring some of Grenada's best ambassadors of comedy. Robert White.
I'll line up behind the yellow for 9 elections straight. I changed for 9 times to lose the last election. Why? Because I'm always on the losing side.
Dillion Walters.
It's the McQueen I couldn't take. I don't tell Molly didn't know.
Kareem Alexis and other outstanding comedic performances, all coming to knock you off your seats with laughter. Get your tickets now. Bring out the entire family. Tickets are $60. It's time for Spice Laugh Comedy Bash 2024.
The place go flood with laughter.
Hello, ECS.
Good day, ma'am. What would make it easier for you to reduce your plastic waste?
Definitely incentives for bringing back plastic bottles, like discounts and loyalty points. It would motivate me to recycle more.
I think if restaurants let us use our own takeout containers, it's all about convenience, you know?
It would help if manufacturers start using less packaging altogether.
Better infrastructure, more investment in recycling facilities, and innovative solutions to tackle this growing problem of plastic pollution. It's not just about individual action, it's about systemic change.
With our population growing and plastic becoming more prevalent in packaging, we have to equip our waste management agencies to keep pace with change and handle the load.
There you have it, folks, straight from the streets. People are willing to do the responsible thing if we create the conditions for them to do so.
Recycle OECS. Green actions, blue oceans.
Struggling to secure a business loan because of limited credit history or loan security? The Eastern Caribbean Partial Credit Guarantee has the security you need. The Eastern Caribbean Partial Credit Guarantee, ECPCGC, is a bridge to accessible financing for micro, small, and medium enterprises in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. Backed by the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank with funding from the World Bank. We work with financial institutions to help MSMEs get credit to stay in business, grow their business, or invest in green technologies. Our process is simple. Apply for a loan at your local lender. If collateral is in question, our partial credit guarantee is the answer. Once you meet the criteria, we pledge up to 80% of the collateral you're short of. Reach out to an ECPCGC participating lender or visit www.ecpcgc.org for more information. The Eastern Caribbean Partial Credit Guarantee for MSMEs. Your business, your growth, our guarantee.
with the biggest blowout sale from Sisson's Paints. Get 30% on Sisson's Text Coat, Berger Weatherproof, and Easy Clean paints, all sizes. Your Weather Warrior, paint to protect. Ensure your home is season ready and beautiful. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Head to the Color Shop or any Sisson's hardware partner nationwide and save 30% now. Shop now and get a free plastic float with every Sisson's Text Coat purchase and a free Paint Sensation paint with every 1 gallon purchase of Berger Weatherproof or Sisson's Easy Clean. Sale ends soon.
In these moments, we not just watching our match, we live in it. 44 million fans, 11 players, one flow. Bleeding we colors, celebrating we greatness. Wherever it's played, Flow is proud to be a part of it. This is We Game.
Get ready, Grenada, for the 18th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert. Hubbard's Legends in Concert, as we raise our hands and give thanks. On Saturday, October 26, 2024, Thanksgiving weekend, Grenada Trade Center, 7:30 p.m. Hubbard's Legends in Concert. Stay tuned to GBN for more.
Miss Faithlin's family drama continues with I Do by Urias Peters at Labucan Creative Center, Saturdays at 8 p.m., Sundays at 6 p.m., June 8th to 30th.
Spend $50 or more at any Hubbard's department or participating outlets for a chance to win free fuel, free drinks, free prizes, free property and vehicular insurance, free Hub TV and internet, free electricity, free coke, free water, free cooking gas, free paint supplies, free Dutch Lady milk, free passes to Sunshine promotion events for 2024, free groceries, all for 1 whole year. And every winner receives a free lunch package. But that's not all. Drive away in style in a brand new Isuzu D-Max. It sips, it doesn't guzzle. So fill out your entries and place them into the marked entry boxes. This promotion is brought to you in part by Dutch Lady, Danny, Promo, Supreme Bleach, Creative Chef, Grenlac, Floor, Salt Petroleum, Grenadian General Insurance Company Limited, Coca-Cola, Sunshine Promotion, Caribouries, Coop Bag, Sesame Spain, and Food Fear. Promotion runs from April 2nd to December 24. Terms and conditions apply.
Natural disaster can change your life in minutes. Preparation is the best protection for your family and business. Prepare now. Create a disaster plan and make sure everyone knows what to do. Store water, non-perishable food, and medication. Remember basic emergency supplies such as batteries and flashlights. Trim overhanging trees. If trees near power lines are unsafe to trim, call Grenlec at 237 for assistance or advice. Install surge protectors to safeguard your electrical devices against outages and intermittent surges. Make sure your generator has an isolation switch. It will prevent power from feeding to our lines and electrocuting others. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada and St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
As we bring you ball-by-ball commentaries of the T20 World Cup. The Cut and Drive Network, in association with this radio station, are pleased to be a part of the excitement. Join me, Andrew Mason, as I lead a team of top-class cricket commentators right through to the finals on June the 29th at the historic Kensington Oval. Cricket, lovely cricket, on this radio station. You got a date, so don't be late.
This moment is all that I've been dreaming of. Well, focus.
Good morning and welcome to the conversation this morning. It's 18 minutes after 7 o'clock and the guests are not here, so it gives us an opportunity to have a conversation. There's something I want to hear your take on this. In the recent spate of an upsurge in illegal firearms and everything surrounding that, right? The arms amnesty and so forth. In the town hall, we heard Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell speaking that on the expiration of the amnesty, which is the 31st of July, new legislation will be passed and the penalties for folks being caught with illegal firearms will be more draconian than normal. What are your thoughts on that? How do you see? Do you see that do you think it's a good thing? Is it a good stand that is taken? What are your thoughts on that? I would really like to hear from you on that. The number, you know the number, it's 435-2041. Let's go to the telephone line right away. Good morning, caller.
Oh, yes. Good morning, Doc.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you. How are you doing today?
I'm alive and very thankful.
Have a good day. National security, big problem, putting us in trouble. That's where money going to be spent. We shouldn't waste money there. But let me say this, because over the months, I have been making observations. And I want to say to our callers who have the opportunity to contribute to your important conversation, the attempt that we make from time to time to character assassinate and drag each other down is putting us nowhere. Let us desist from the practice, yeah? And focus on the bigger picture, which is what confronting the youth and the nation. What we're doing in essence is turning over politicians to financial fortunes from time to time, but we ourselves are going nowhere. Please take note.
Okay.
Have a good day, sir.
Thank you, caller. Have a good one yourself. Yep, have a good one. 21 minutes after 7 o'clock. Tell me, what are your thoughts? Good morning to you, Nutmeg Quinn. Why are you behaving like this, huh? How are you doing? Hope you're doing fine. Good morning to JJ and Sylvie and Daphne and Nina and everybody. Good morning. Give me a call, 435-2041. This has been a burning issue in recent times. We had calls from all sectors. Let's go to the line and say good morning, caller.
Pleasant good morning to you, sir.
Welcome to the program.
Right. I know not specifically, but you highlighted the gun problems and the fine and so forth. I support the move. You know why?
Tell me.
Because if in essence, no, the government is looking to pass legislation on the marijuana issue, legalizing and at a certain extent for medical use, which is very good. However, I look at the news and I listen to news in Jamaica especially, and the amount of gun-related crime. I wouldn't say it might happen on this extent as in Jamaica, because Jamaica is a bigger territory than ours and a bigger population. However, I do believe that could put a detent to deter them who intend to use guns as crimes for crime scenes in increase of marijuana use in this small, beautiful, nice country of ours.
Okay.
So on that part, I do support the Prime Minister move. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, saying good morning to Arthur Pope and Kenrick Coutin out there in Brooklyn. It's coming from Miss World. Let's go to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Innocent, and good morning, Grenada, and good morning, everybody on the international scale. All right, so we need to look at this problem from the roots. I always say look at the roots before you look at the fruits. So we need to look at the young people on our whole, because yes, some people are already grown and mature, they know wrong from right, but we need to look at those people that don't know what is wrong from right and being told that is right and it's totally wrong. So, again, school is going to come up and it's going to close, and there's a lot of activities that the youth are going to be involved in. And we need programs that are going to involve the youth in development of their communities and the nation as a whole, so they can be able to learn more skills and be able to be more active. It's people that are young people, I should say, that are unactive, that are uneducated, and that are getting themselves tied up.
So let me ask you this. I presume that you're speaking on behalf of the youthful population, right? And you're making a plea for the things that you think would cause them not to get themselves involved in such deviant behaviors.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's continue. I'm listening to you.
No, that's what I'm saying. So you think that if more initiatives are taken to have the younger folks involved in more positive actions and things, it would get them away from crime and violence and so forth.
Yes, idle hands are the devil workshops, and these youths are neglected from education. Because remember, a lot of schools, when they go to school, teachers tell them they don't, they stupid, they cannot learn, they cannot read, they cannot write, so they turn away from school and they go to our next school, which is the gangster school, and the gangster school teaches them things they're not supposed to be learning at a young age. So we need to be able to have more community activities, community projects. We need the youth to be more involved and re-educated, and we need to redefine that word called success. Success doesn't mean you have to be the brightest person in class, but we need to redefine success. and we need to get the youth more involved to find out their true potential, because there are a lot of talents that are wasting, a lot of skilled individuals that are not being trained enough so that they could be able to make an impact on our economy as well. We have so much work to do, and we need to start as soon as possible.
All right, so now let me ask you this. I'm glad you're engaged this morning. You heard the Prime Minister in his town hall meetings celebrating the two-year anniversary, and he's claimed that after the gun amnesty ends in July, the penalties for people being found with illegal firearms will be very steep. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts on that is the Prime Minister and his team are there. They're doing their best, utmost best, to stiffen the penalties, and I appreciate that. But remember, there are going to be young people involved in these things. For instance, you might be a young person. Let me say I have a gun. I know I might get caught up, but you young, I might give you the gun to hold for me. So when the police come and they circle the block and they check me, they won't get on me, but they'll get on you. So we have to realize now the youth are going to be the victims here. So again, we need to look at that and revise it again, because when these people are going to get wiser, they're going to find new ways to walk around the system. And now the youth are going to be the gateway, as always, to get away from the police. So we need to have more mentorship programs going on. We need to involve the youth more in what is going on in society. Otherwise, it's going to impact our economy so bad that we are going to feel it with price increase and so much inflation.
Oh, youngster, thank you very much for joining the program this morning. Your point well taken, all right?
All right, thank you very much, Grenada, and the rest of the world. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Blessings. We had a young ambassador, a youth ambassador. It's 27 minutes after 7 o'clock. And I want to say good morning. You know, this program is so far-reaching, I did not realize that. Let me see. I want to go up here. Tovina Thomas says, Grand Rising from Aberdeen in Scotland. Could you imagine that? Good morning, caller.
Yes, morning, Innocent. I'm glad that you mentioned Scotland, because Scotland did something to arrest a level of violence they had there, and we could look at the model that they did. Now, I want to support the last caller, because I think he's in the right. We're heading in the right direction, and also that we should listen to people like Mr. Ruggles Ferguson, Queen Council. He's one, I think, that can has a level head, and he's been saying some things which is not necessarily anti what the government is doing, but he has a point. And as the last cause, we have to go to the root cause. And when we need to do something, in fact, I'm not faulting the government for making a move, but sometimes in the process of trying to solve a problem, we create more problems. Because in the situation where somebody might think they might be caught, if they're caught, they might think about finishing people in the end, so that as people who like point and kill their partner, and then they kill themselves. So that could be, a negative side of what he's doing. So we need to have, I think, deeper conversation. How can we help to create an environment, a society where we'll be honest with each other? People are very conceited. We know, when I say we, I'm just saying from a general point of view, who are the people who are engaged in various things? And we pretend. So we have to be, because we say we ain't getting involved and that kind of thing. The other thing about it, Innocent, we have to ask ourselves, how did we arrive there? And as the first caller, the younger caller says, go to the root. How did we get? And there's a reason why we are here.
Okay.
One of the reasons we are here is because we were instructed to let our society disintegrate so that somebody could control it from the outside. It's pattern. If you look at patterns, wherever the Americans have been, you have that subsequently. It's like the mafia. Okay. The mafia create violence, and then they sell you insurance. And the very people who are providing the security are the ones who is creating the violence. We need to look at those kind of things. It's deep. It's not it shouldn't be a quick thing. But the government have made a move, and I think we should engage the government in terms of how they ensure that at the end of the day, we don't regret. I remember, and I'll end here, Jack Warner taking control of security in Trinidad, and had this whole grand plan that crime would end. Ramesh killing 11 people, hanging them, and say, but crime will end. Crime has no end in Trinidad. So we have to see how can we collectively try and deal with that. And also listen to the former Senator Humphrey, who said that it's a different thing. We need to hear all these points of view and try to make something, synthesize it, so that the solution that we are doing, that we are aiming at, would be long-lasting and sustainable. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. Folks, it's 29 minutes on to 8 o'clock. Let's take a commercial break. We'll be back after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
In these moments, we not just watching our match, we live in it. 44 million fans, 11 players, one flow. Bleeding we colors, celebrating we greatness. Wherever it's played, Flow is proud to be a part of it. This is We Game.
Are you looking for a reliable, affordable, and customer-friendly pharmacy? Look no further than Hills and Valley Pharmacy, the nation's leading healthcare products and services provider. We are committed to serving you at convenient locations. Find an extensive and affordable selection of prescription and over-the-counter drugs and medical supplies at Church Street, Hillsborough, Carriacou, Jubilee Street, Grenville, St. Andrew, near the bus terminal, and Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George. Our committed team is always available to offer valuable assistance for managing your health and wellness. Discover the additional benefits of our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street and our Medcare Center on Grenville Street, where we provide in-house physiotherapy, massage therapy, doctor consultations, and eye care services. Our commitment is to satisfy all your healthcare needs, including competitive prices, loyalty rewards, and special discounts for seniors. Contact us at 435-6904 and WhatsApp 535-4734. Choose Hills and Valley Pharmacy. Remember, your health is our business.
Yard. Use a broom instead of a hose. Save water.
This awareness initiative is part of activities under the Climate Resilient Water sector in Grenada. The project is funded by the Green Climate Fund, the German government, and the government of Grenada.
I am Audrey Jackson.
I'm Greg Jackson.
On February 19th at 4 a.m., a gun was used to take my son from me. You know him as Pop Smoke. We call him Shar. Because of gun violence, I'll never see my son run up the front of our steps, taking them two at a time. He won't ever take my hands again and dance with me. He won't come into my room and muscle pose in the mirror. Gun violence destroys families. It must stop.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners, to the conversation. It's 26 minutes on to 8 o'clock. Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, and how are you doing?
I am doing fine. How are you?
I'm okay, all right. Just listening to the program day and wondering.
What are you wondering about?
I wonder, maybe you could help me a little bit too, because when I heard about the charges, the amount of years and so forth that will be laid upon someone found with a gun, I'm thinking about the different levels of gun violence. If you're going to have to, let's say, spend 40 years in jail for possession of ammunition, what will the charges be for discharging a firearm? What the charges will be for gun offense? You know, the different levels you have, like robbery with armed robbery and so forth, if those are going to be addressed also. And then for murder now, what are the charges going to be? Because if you bring it to that, you have to address it on every level, because you cannot, let's say, okay, 40 years, let's say, for example, 40 years in jail for possession of a gun. You cannot charge the same amount for violence, gun violence. So I'm kind of wondering if they are adjusting it on every level.
So it means that it has to be a complete overhaul of the penal methods.
Right, definitely. That is where I'm thinking.
Okay. Well, as he said, the Prime Minister is a legal mind himself, and he has a lot of legal advisors and so forth, judicial advisors. So when it comes to that, I think they will sit and coin the most appropriate proposal to come forward.
Yeah, well, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah. All right.
All right, thank you.
Have a good day, bro.
All right, you too.
You're good.
All right.
Folks, it's 24 minutes on to 8 o'clock. Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning.
Good morning, Innocent.
Hi, welcome to the program. Something is loud in the background.
I'm not sure what it is, but I just wanted to quickly make a recommendation that either GBN or the government of Grenada gives a job as a consultant to one of your callers who calls every morning with solutions to every problem. Okay. I think that should be considered.
Okay.
All right. Talking about Scotland, about Africa, about wherever, he needs to be given a job.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you. Back to the telephone line. Good morning.
Hello.
Welcome to the program.
Yeah, well, I consider what the Prime Minister is saying is sort of draconian. And in criminal world, when you do things like that, you're trying to upgrade the criminal and them. Because
explain on that.
Because here's something. I hear people. Well, you know, I am on the street and I hear what's going on.
Okay.
People, they're saying that if you could give 40 years and 30 years for a gun or having a gun, what you're encouraging us to do is to sharpen the cutlass back and front, all the handles sharpen, and prepare for it in that way.
But why violence in the first place?
Yeah, but when you know Grenada is a violent state.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, because we like a lot of things. We like bacchanal.
Yeah, but words don't cut anybody.
Well, I just telling you what on the street. The man's partner is alleged that if you give a man 40 years for a gun, let me keep off the gun off the street and sharpen the cutlass back and front, sharpen all the handles for them.
So why not have some more community dialogues and get people back together instead of the instigation of violence?
Well, the kind of draconian thing he put in me. When he come to war, is that we have to deal with?
Well, Grenada is not a warring place, partners.
A lot of people can see it. People don't see it.
Okay.
It's like a storytelling.
Okay. All right. Okay, well.
I would become all the best.
Okay. All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. Grenada is not a warring place. I'm certain you heard me say that, time and time again, Grenada is just a copycat community. We've seen a lot of things on TV, and our youth minds are not strong enough to decipher that most of the things you've seen is movie, partner. They act in that. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Innocent.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you. The narrative so far, the conversation so far is troubling.
Yeah, okay.
Why it is troubling?
Tell me.
Grenada is supposed to be a beautiful little place. And what we have, pure Grenada. That's how we brand ourselves internationally. When you have this kind of conversation where you're talking about war, you're talking about what happening in Ukraine, in Russia, you want some kind of international or global perspective where you want to dominate or predominate, or what it is you're pushing at.
And I don't see Grenada as a warring place at all.
Well, there is no way I see it as a warring place. What I see Grenada need right now, and which is critical to our survival, is the agricultural sector. You drive over Grenada and you see a small place like Grenada with 110,000 people. Unfortunately, at this point in time, I cannot tell you what percentage of the population is of working age. Right? But you go all over Grenada and you drive, what you see? You see empty land. And Grenada is a gem in terms of the ability to produce food and food products. Then why is it we should have gun violence? But the problem of everything, let me tell you something. This gun violence, and basically I think it stems from illegal arms and ammunition. It's not something that sprang up either last night or yesterday,
Okay.
It's years, It means, therefore, that the adult population in this country has to accept the brunt of the responsibility of leading the nation. And when I say leading the nation, I talk about leading the nation in every aspect. So, if I'm here to recall, I think I heard a leader say in a public setting that the system is broken.
Do you agree with that statement?
It could never be.
Okay.
Right? So the question is, me and you who are adults and is in the forefront of everyday living, in the streets and the environment in Grenada, what is the narrative we're pushing? And what kind of rule or what kind of track we are setting for those to come. Remember, children would grow up into be young adults, well, youth, young adults, and then you go up the ladder. Now they would emulate what they see the seniors do. So we, the seniors, set the norm.
Okay.
And we have to get that straight, and we have to get that clear. So if there is today a high level of gun violence in Grenada, and I presume stemming from illegal arms and ammunition, that is the precedent that was set in terms of our psyche for the young people.
Mm-hmm. But from just for conversational purposes, one of my contributors claimed that young people do not have the financial and other logistical resources to bring in firearms to Grenada. So it ties in well with what you're saying.
Exactly. So if the people in the administrative area of this country, well, the government is a choice of the people, by the people, for the people,
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. That would have been the ideal situation, the ideal scenario, but is it always that?
Well, that's where the big question mark is, and that is a capital question mark.
Yes.
So we, as a nation, we have to rethink, stop, or pause, reassess, and refocus.
Okay.
And so it is important to arrest situations that is destructive.
Okay.
With that, as citizens, we have to decide whether we'll be a law-abiding citizen or we're going to come in conflict with the law.
Yeah, I think
each and every one of those categories, those sections have results.
Yeah.
So you have to determine what kind of results you want.
Yeah, I think what is needed most. I mean, it's too late to close the stables though when the horse is already out, right? There's no point in closing it, because what you might find happening if you close it, you just prevent the horse from coming back, and if it changes its mind. But I think we have to look at it from a different angle now and start. It's all about engagement, community engagement, and getting the communities together. As of in days of old, we know it's difficult with the age in which we live, with all this technology and gadgets and so forth. People have become antisocial now instead of socializing the way we were accustomed to. That is gone, but we have to try to rekindle that fire to an extent. Get communities back together, involved in activities in the communities, and you'd find people more receptive and maybe even more humane.
Let me just pop this out a little bit. I mean, changes are constant. And as time roll on, you get changes. But we must always change in the direction of positive growth. Okay. So you'll have development.
Okay.
And that goes straight across the board.
All right.
So even the homes that we are, or as adults who are going to bring offspring into the face of the earth, we must start thinking.
Okay.
Think what you want for them for the future. Okay. Think about what you're bringing in. Think about the responsibility of having them here, and what kind of product you want to have.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Colin. Think. You're most welcome, sir. Have a great one.
Have a great one yourself. Thank you very much, folks. It's 13 minutes until. Let's entertain this caller via our WhatsApp platform. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Innes.
Welcome. How you do?
I'm good, thank you, sir. And you?
I am doing all right.
Yes, sir. So, I recall when I was a child, they give the boys a toy gun, the girls a doll.
And you're seeing the effects of it now, because you're not seeing many young ladies involved in gun violence.
For the brilliance of these people, the organized crime, that this is an organized thing. We're reaping this thing now. Our boys grew up from babies, fine gun. The people who make these guns and sell these guns knew what they were doing back then. So they give the boys guns and they give the girls dolls. The girls have to mind babies and the boys have to shoot down people. That's what these people and them to outdo our small society.
Goodness.
This is deep.
Yeah.
This is deep.
I have never looked at it in that light.
Think deep, Mr. Innocent. We have to think deep.
Yeah,
these crimes are organized to destroy our black society by the powers that be out there. Mr. Innocent, you have no idea how this is.
So as a little boy growing up, when Christmas Eve and mommy goes to Grenville and she brings one of those shots gun for me and she brings a doll for Michelle, is that what you were trying to do?
Michelle had to make children.
And she did.
The boy, you remember the calypso? Brown sting girls.
Stay home and mind baby.
Okay. And the boy shoot down one another.
Yeah, thank you, caller. I like your perspective though. It changes the dynamics of the conversation.
Yeah. Keep Mr. Innocent, if not as we see. We have
yeah.
So the prayer asking to redeem us from the clutches of these organizers who hold us in these deep, terrible clutches.
Pray for us.
We have to fast and pray, Mr. Innocent.
Yes, pray for us. All right.
Return sometime after pray.
Pray for us. Pray for us.
Yes, have a blessed day, so I'll pray.
Yes, pray. Kneel down now and pray.
Yes, put in the heart in his part to lie down and pray.
Lovely. Have a good one.
Okay.
God bless. Folks, it's 11 minutes on to 8 o'clock. We take our final commercial break in the program. Then we come back and do the wrap. Don't you go anywhere.
lovely cricket as we bring you ball-by-ball commentaries of the T20 World Cup. The Cut and Drive Network, in association with this radio station, are pleased to be a part of the excitement. Join me, Andrew Mason, as I lead a team of top-class cricket commentators right through to the finals on June the 29th at the historic Kensington Oval. Cricket, lovely cricket, on this radio station. You got a date, so don't be late.
This moment is all that I've been dreaming of. Well, focus.
Coming up, it's a summer of style as top designers and their creations hit the catwalk with a Caribbean twist. The World Cup has rolled into town with on-field excitement and beyond-the-boundary thrills in Trinidad and Tobago. Getting married? Honeymooning? Barbados is your top option for an eventful experience. It's Caribbean Passport, right here on this station.
Are you a young man aged 17 to 35 looking to build a successful career? Grenada presents an exceptional opportunity with its Rural Youth Training and Entrepreneur Program, RITEP, specializing in small engine repairs. This program equips you with valuable skills in a high-demand industry. Don't miss out. Reach out to Grenada today at 444-8430 or visit us at Lower Depredin Street. Kickstart your career and create a brighter tomorrow with Grenada's RITEP. Enroll now and pave your way to success. Classes begin at the end of June. Should you need any additional information, feel free to contact us on 444-8430 or email grenco86@gmail.com.
Olympic Day celebration will be held Saturday 22nd of June. We'll be working together with the Grenada Athletes Commission. We're inviting the general public to come and enjoy a number of activities in the sports: table tennis, basketball, volleyball, shooting, taekwondo, karate, boxing. We have dance exercise. We also have that walk that we do, and we will be having a team relay ending at the Olympic House. We also will be launching our team for Paris 2024 and our campaign for Paris 2024. We're going to have a learning aspect towards our celebration. We're going to have massage therapists available. So it will be a grand affair. So come, let's move.
8 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Let's go to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning to you, Innocent.
How you do?
Not well, I explained to you in a while.
Okay.
But first of all, I'd like to commend the young man, the very young guy who spoke. I concur with most of what he said, especially the part of giving more access to skills training. The only problem is that many of our young men don't stay long enough to even learn the basics, far less to learn skills.
Right.
They drop out so early from what I'm hearing. And the other aspect of it, I think, that he's left off was the role of the home. It seems that as though we have given up on families playing a role in developing children. So it seems as though we have left everything up to the state. And this is not good. My main beef this morning, Innocent, yes, last evening I was at home listening to the news and I heard a never-ending song of heavy equipment on my road. And eventually it got very close to me and I was curious. I looked and I realized the whole troop of the road was being torn up.
Wow.
I saw some guys doing some survey outside while I was doing my gardening yesterday evening, and they were marking up things with fluorescent paint, and so I didn't know what they were doing. I thought it was for some project coming up down the road. But I didn't realize they were marking spots for tearing up the road last night. Not a word was said to residents, not to me, and I'm always out there. And that, said, on Wednesday last, 1 week today, I spent $5,000 to do a grid at my entrance. Why? Because the original ramp I had was broken by Nawasa. And they built a piece of nonsense that fell into the drain instantly. They came a second time to do some more work about 5 years ago. I explained to them what had happened before. They said, do it better this time. This time it lasted for a week. And it was creating a mess in front of my entrance because the drain is blocked and the water is running all into the road and creating a mess, and so it gets a foul smell. So I bit the bullet and I did agree.
Okay.
I said if I was not quick and said to them, hey, be careful, that would have been damaged too again.
Okay.
And the guy, when I said to him, I said, look, I had just put my grill on last week. He said, we'll make sure it's not damaged.
But the fact that no information was disseminated.
I was out there last evening up to sunset working, or people there doing their surveys, and so no one ever said that. In the olden days, they come with a micro, with a loudspeakers, we say, here we're doing X, Y, Z. Nothing, not a word. So we'd have got up this morning and just find the whole road is torn up. Even the base on which my grill was placed was moved. So if I didn't move it last night, it would have been damaged. So I think we need to communicate a bit more. We can't just do things like that. The road has to be fixed, yes, but show some, respect and consideration for residents when you're doing work like this. The pipe was broken. I went to bed about 3 this morning. When they finished work is when I was able to go to bed.
Wow.
Heavy equipment, all sorts of things are happening out there.
Okay.
It's going to be good, but please, let's communicate. And if it's the government or if it's the contracted, please don't do things like that to people.
Communication is key.
It's so important. Yeah. Have a blessed day.
You too, man. God bless. I hope it works out. All right, folks, I need to inform you or remind you of that. I think you heard it last night on Doctor on Call, but there's this professional presentation by the Caribbean Theatre on men's experience with cancer. Now, the panelists includes Dr. Owen Gabriel. He's an oncologist from the USA. From St. Lucia, rather, Dr. Rohan Deshong, a urologist from St. Vincent, and Professor Shea Kawich, a surgeon from Trinidad. Now, this is happening online. You need to register via SGU. You can also get in touch with Dr. Sonia Nixon. All right, she's also one of the persons spearheading this. It's on tonight, this evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It's via, it's being streamed. All right, so I suggest men living with cancer, men's experience with cancer. That's a very important topic, so you'd want to be a part of this. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller.
Morning, my brother. Someone called and spoke about dogs and guns. That is probably creating the gun violence. There's no scientific data or information to substantiate that. I grew up as a teenager in the revolution, and we had a lot of guns here, but we did not have gun violence. That's a fact. Okay? It's over 30 years now since the importation of toy guns has been banned in Grenada. But they have banned it, but look at the internet, look at the television. So sometimes we say things based on the top of our head without analyzing things critically. The problem that is confronting humanity today, my brother, is a spiritual problem. They have banned the importation of toy guns, but look at the degree of violence. It has multiplied significantly than in the period when we had a gun in Grenada for almost every citizen.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
You too. Thank you, caller. Folks, it's just 30 seconds away from 8, but of course, you know we will use up the time that we have with BBC, because just for those of you who, into the BBC, hear this.
BBC.com/news. BBC.
Right, the BBC is we are experiencing some connectivity issues with the BBC. That service that they usually provide to us at that time, it's unavailable. So we will utilize the time that we usually would spend with the BBC. But I want to read this comment by Alison Cox Osplund. It says, "Everything comes with a price. Development also comes with a price. Grenada is becoming more and more cosmopolitan, so nothing will remain the same. So laws have to be changed as the country develops. Grenada is not the only country facing this problem. It can be a big problem for Grenada because they do not have the resources to deal with it." I do agree with this. Okay, good morning. I think the young men who fancy gun use were born decades after the ban of toy gun sales, so I don't necessarily agree with that caller. Right, when one check the background of the gangsters, you would recognize the broken homes from the parents and elders within the community. Bend the tree while it is young, as the saying goes. Kicking cow makes kicking calves. Train up a child in the way he should go, and we certainly would see the results. Most importantly, don't leave out God in the home. I like this. All right, let me see who else. I just trying to give everybody the opportunity to get their comments across. This man talking about sharpening his cutlass, just displaying top-level ignorance. I think, though, we need a more comprehensive approach to this, starting with schools, anti-violence education, searches at the parties, getting on the blocks, making a random search, put God back in homes. We stop teach our children to pray. All right, okay, we just have to change the ways of dealing with issues. Yeah, it's a lot. All right, let's go back to the telephone line and say good morning, caller.
Yeah, Innocent, one thing in relation with what Mr. Bernard says is not just the people who do the road, but also in the case of Nawasa, water went Monday night in Lakalom, and there was no information on what happened. All we came back yesterday afternoon. I think entities need to, as much as possible, when things about to happen or happen, they need to inform people. There seems to be a discourtesy on the part of a number of the entities, so I could understand the plight of Mr. Bernard.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, caller. Yeah, Nawasa, well, not just Nawasa, but it's common courtesy, if you're providing a service or you have some sort of interruption or disruption, it is important that you, let the users or the benefactors of it know. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Gordon.
How are you?
Not too bad, just quiet. Mr. Gordon, I agree with the Prime Minister in his statement as to increasing the penalty. Just think for one moment. If God didn't have laws, nobody would have loved to live on planet Earth. The mere fact that God put law in place is to have humanity to think before they act in carrying out any of the action. No. What I've seen, and maybe the government need to look into that, I don't know if it could be controlled. You see these video games or the phone games, wherever, that these young people spend a lot of time on shooting one another in the games. The phone game, you have games they play a lot and teaching you how to shoot down each other as such. I know they're getting it online. Maybe you have to see with the providers. Some of those things that has been streamed, either it has been banned, restricted for a certain age group, or something of this sort. Now, there is one point how the Prime Minister stated, and I'm not in line with him with that one. He said, if you want to enjoy shooting as such, maybe I could be wrong in how I put it across, but he said, join the Hunters Association.
The Rifle Association.
Right. The Rifle Association, and maybe you could enjoy your shooting. Now, if you're going in the bush and shooting every animal you see, at one point in time, you might think animal get too small now. I have the skill in being accurate in shooting. Let me see if I could target human being.
That is a low blow, man.
No. What I'm saying, in light of his statement, I would not put join the Rifle Association if you want to shoot.
Okay.
Then, if you look at those crimes that has been committed, based on what I've heard in the news, all of the weapons are illegal weapons that commit those crimes. And what is striking, that when the lady charged, the news saying a businessman. As to what business these young people and them dealing in, I don't know. But I don't know if they mean the weapon is to protect business.
Okay.
I know when you're going for a firearm, if you're a businessman, you have been vetted. And they do a search on you to see whether you can be issued a weapon. But what happened with this young people and them are committing the crime? They don't want to be vetted. So they're looking at easy ways and means to beat the system.
But the question is, caller, where are the guns? Okay, if there are no guns to be sold illegally, the young people cannot find them. So who are the business? Who are the people who have these illegal firearms, so that when the young people want to get a firearm, they feel trigger happy. They can't get. They're not ready to go through the vetting process, so they go on the black market to buy a firearm. Who are the people involved?
Mr. Innocent?
Yes, sir.
Where most of the weapons coming from, and most of the people said we have a porous border. Money is something that people don't refuse it easily, and people think of making money sometimes at any means. Look the case the other day with the container gun, and the charge has been dropped. Nobody has been held accountable with such amount of weapon coming through the port. You just hear the case drop. I don't know for what reason. Now, we have to, it's hard for us to control the illegal weapons coming in. So because of that, you must increase the penalty. So someone, even though you want to obtain a weapon illegally, he will think of the consequence before he gets himself involved. Okay. And then one of the things we have, there is a breakdown in effective reasoning and communication. I don't know, because people text more, they don't know how to speak to each other to resolve things. So as something happens, the easy way of solving it is violence. The aspect of reasoning is very, very low in today's society. People cannot communicate. People don't learn to respect each other's viewpoint. People will attack, and they always tell you, an arrogant man cannot reason. He believes his way of communicating is through act of violence.
Okay. All right. Thank you, caller.
Okay.
Thank you. We've exceeded our time, folks. This is where we end the program this morning, and thank you for all those of you. Interestingly, years ago, every boy was given a toy gun, but there was no gang violence. Now, toy guns are banned or disbanded, but we have gun violence. Just asking, what is the root cause of the gun violence today? Food for thought. Thank you very much, caller. And All those of you who contributed to the program one way or the other, thank you very much. Let me quickly, we can look at all the contributing factors as to why there is an increase in gun violence. However, if the hearts of men have become cold and insensitive to human life, we will continue to experience increased in crime and crime of various nature. Thank you very much. A very interesting program this morning, and I look forward to another engagement tomorrow. If the good Lord spare our lives and if the conditions remain the same and conducive for us to have the program, we'll have it again tomorrow. I love you. Bye-bye.